Reprint Booster 1.0 is set to release in a little under a month and a half. This video won't focus on the reprints, at least not yet, but we'll start diving into the support that it brings. And for this video, it's time to look into the Ghost Game cards of Gammamon. Unfortunately, due to the timing and release of RB1, we are getting it after BT13, whereas Japan got RB1 before BT13. Which explains a lot in regards to additional Jellymon and Gurimon support that didn't have anything to pair with. Regardless, I'll look into each of these cards individually, how they stack, and potentially what they could do in the 1 month time frame before the Ace starter decks officially drop in October. First off, Gurimon returns as a new level 2. Your turn once per turn, when one of your effects places a Digivolution card under this Digimon, draw 1. Wait. So they literally Dorimoned into red? Neat! Application for this card is great for a Gammamon deck, particularly because you utilize many ways to tuck sources under it. But while you could use it in a Gammamon related deck, this also brings about new ways to make it red-based Chaosdramon X moving forward. For the level 3s of Gammamon, there are 2. RB1 a generic searcher that adds a Digimon with Gammamon in its text, which is pretty easy, and a tamer that is specifically Hiro Amanakawa. Afterwards, you bottom deck the rest. Weird though that Agumon gets to dig 4, and this card only gets to dig 3. It's inheritable as a plus 2000 DP buff if this Digimon has Gammamon in the text. A mandatory 4 of for Gammamon decks moving forward. Now RB1 is also weird in that while it's supposed to separate its new cards from its reprint cards, it fails to with RB1 Gammamon. This card is a reprint of an already existing promo, and frankly, it feels a bit like cheating. This Gammamon does let you attack your opponent's unsuspended Digimon if you have a red tamer in play, meaning you can grant this attack unsuspended effect to your Digimon if they have an effect like Kanawaismon that gains all the effects of cards with Gammamon in their text. My beef with this card in particular is that it's not the promo Gammamon that was much harder to get. Beto Gammamon brings about new Gammamon support like Greymon that offers Raid, which remember, if you do switch targets, it must be the highest attack DP on the board that's unsuspended. When Digivolving, this Digimon can at least play Hiro Amanakawa for free. Huzzah! The best part is it can Digivolve from any Gammamon, which there is a purple variant later that is released. Kanawaismon returns, a Digimon that has the same conditions as the BT10 variant, albeit its Digivolution cost is all around 3 this time. This also provides the capability for you to potentially warp Digivolve for a cost of 3 from Gammamon. And like BT10's passive and inheritable effect, you gain all the effects of cards with Gammamon in their names. Siriusmon though drops the newest level 6 and boss monster that Gammamon needed. While previous decks may have utilized Dorbikmon, Siriusmon can Digivolve from a level 5 with Gammamon in the text. When Digivolving, you may place one Digimon card with Gammamon in its text from your hand, under this Digimon as its bottom Digivolution card. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon with DP less than or equal to this Digimon's DP. Removal and a card draw? Nice. Your turn once per turn, when your opponent's Digimon is deleted, you may unsuspend this Digimon. The best part is, with Kanawaismon's effect, you could give this Digimon evade through Kaus Gammamon, raid through Beto Gammamon, blocker through Vessen Gammamon, and more. Gammamon is very much more cohesive. With RB1, this also introduces the alternative Digivolution lines. Kaus Gammamon, as I mentioned before, has evade and can Digivolve from Gammamon regardless of color for 2. While Fumamon is the blue Kanawais variant that does more with source stripping and an identical passive effect and inheritable to Kanawaismon. Personally, I don't feel Fumamon is going to get any mileage, mainly because source trashing in general feels underpowered, and only in BT14 does it get much more viable. Vessen Gammamon, as I mentioned before, provides blocker, and though green, can Digivolve from Gammamon regardless of color. Gillyhumon is the green Kanawais variant, and like Fumamon and Kanawaismon can Digivolve from any level 4 if the name contains Gammamon for a cost of 3. Like all green cards, this Digimon suspends your opponent's Digimon with DP less than or equal to this Digimon, and prevents that card from unsuspending if it was suspended through this effect. Again, I'm not too much of a fan of this particular card, mainly because red provides potential warp digivolving, and the old BT10 one gives you more aggression. Though because of the changes in our schedules, who knows? Maybe Fumamon and Gilidhumon will see play as techs in Gammamon decks. Ghoulless Gammamon is the purple variant that returns, another Digivolve for 2 from Gammamon, and a slew of effects. End of attack by deleting this Digimon, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with DP less than or equal to this Digimon. And while you may be wondering, how does this 6000 DP body get any bigger? You do have to keep in mind that RB1 Gammamon offers a plus 2000 DP buff. And the promo Gammamon also offers plus 2000 DP as well while you have a hero in play, potentially giving you a 10,000 deletion body. And again, you may be wondering how you can get multiple Gammamons under here. We're getting there. Lastly, on deletion, this Digimon can play one Gammamon from trash suspended without paying its memory cost. Not terrible, considering you could play a new Gammamon then just evo into another Ghoulless, so that if your opponent deletes Ghoulless Gammamon, you'll get a Gammamon back on your turn. Regulusmon is the Dark Canonwise counterpart, and a when digivolving and when attacking effect that once per turn by trashing one card with Gammamon and its text from your hand. One of your Digimon gains on deletion, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level until the end of your opponent's next turn. And like all the other level 5s, you gain all the effects of the Gammamon and the sources for its passive and inheritable. And finally, the dark counterpart of Siriusmon, it's Arcturusmon. This Digimon digivolves for 5 from a purple level 5 or 4 from any level 5 with Gammamon in the text. When digivolving, you may place one Digimon card with Gammamon in its text from your trash, under this Digimon as its bottom Digivolution source. Then you may delete one Digimon with a level less than or equal to this Digimon's Digivolution cards. A standard stack from level 2 to level 6 is going to contain 4 cards, meaning you can delete any level 4 Digimon. By adding more Digivolution sources, you can potentially delete level 6s or even level 7 Digimon. On deletion, you may return one Digimon card from your trash to your hand. Then by trashing one Siriusmon from hand, you may play one Proximamon from hand without paying the cost. Interestingly, this Digimon has an inheritable as well. Your turn, once per turn when your opponent's Digimon is deleted. If this Digimon has Gammamon in the text, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. But the big question I have is, how do you add sources? And the answer is Hiro Amanakawa. This Tamer, for 3 memory to play, lets you at the start of your main phase, place one Digimon card with Gammamon in its name from your hand, under one of your Digimon as its bottom Digivolution card, and gain 1 memory, and draw 1. This is where the Tamer Shenanigans takes place, as you can promote, slot a card with this Tamer's effect, gain a memory, and draw 2, with Gurimon's inheritable in consideration. But there's more. When your Digimon digivolves into a Digimon with Gammamon in the text, you may suspend this Tamer to give that Digimon plus 2000 DP for the turn. Tentatively, I do see this card being the main Tamer in Gammamon decks. Memory and extra cards? Value Town. And to conclude this set review episode, it's the secret rare, Proximamon. Proximamon is the level 7 of the deck, and though the Digivolution cost is 6 from a red or purple Digimon, it can digivolve for 3 from Siriusmon if Arcturusmon is in the Digivolution sources. Sounding familiar? All turns, once per turn when another Digimon is deleted, you may play one level 4 or lower Digimon card with Gammamon in its name from your trash without paying cost. End of turn, once per turn by placing one Digimon card with Gammamon in its text from your hand or trash, under this Digimon as its bottom Digivolution card, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with DP less than or equal to this Digimon. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of this card, because the card doesn't necessarily end the game. But it may, if you have the right sources stacked up into it. But for me right now, Arcturusmon and Siriusmon are the cream of the crop, especially in conjunction with the new hero Amanakawa. In looking at DigimonMeta.com, there aren't too many lists for Gammamon, and currently, here is my proposed list for the deck itself. There are quite a number of Gammamons in the Digimon trading card game, and looking over meta lists, Japan tended to shoot higher for ratios on level 3s, typically being 15 or 16. but I just don't like some of the Gammamon effects. But in the end, what are your expectations for Reprint Booster 1 moving forward? Do you think most of these decks will be too antiquated because of the timing? Or do you think these archetypes will have a shot? Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you next time. This is DIGI-PANDA, logging out.